vice is something that you use to escape. And, you know, sometimes that escapism is, you know, deeper and darker than other things.
What is your preferred vice and why?
I like to have a little cocktail. You know, it's funny, when I was like 13, I went to a town outside of Baton Rouge called New Roads, Louisiana. By the time my grandma was staying there, and I had like older cousins, and my cousin Tasha was like, come on, we're gonna ride around. And that was like a thing in New Roads. New Roads has, like, at the time, New Roads had a Walmart, a gas station, and a McDonald's, and a Winn-Dixie. Like, that was New Roads. So riding around, you're riding around like 5 streets and whatever. But they also had this like drive-through daiquiri spot. And I was like, ooh. I used to always love like virgin daiquiris, because I just like, it was like an icy, like it was a treat. I love a treat. And so like we went and like boom, and I was like, hey, I want to taste like the strongest one. And she was like, what's your mama gonna say? Like, well, because I'm sorry, my dad's a pastor. My mom's a elementary school teacher. And I was raised in like a very strict Christian household. So like we couldn't listen to R&B music, we couldn't watch Martin, we couldn't watch The Simpsons. Like we didn't have cable for like most of my childhood. So my cousin was like, what's your parents gonna say? I was like, it'll be fine, like they won't know, like boom, boom, boom. Why she got this for me, I don't know why. But she got it, and I sat in the back, like I gave my brother some, and he was like, oh, that's a lot. And then he gave it back to me, and I sat in her back seat, and I basically drank the entire thing. And we got back to my grandma's house, and my mom, she was like, have you been drinking? Now, mind you, before we went into my grandma's house, I put a whole bunch of like peppermints in my mouth, because I thought, you know, that's gonna help. So like trying to suck them down. And I didn't know the concept of like your pores, like your being smelling like whatever is in those daiquiris, because it's like Everclear, like it's not top shelf moments, okay? So I walked in my grandma's house smelling like booze. I hugged my mom. She's like, what's wrong with you? Like, you been drinking? And I was like, no. My mom was like, let me smell your breath. I was like, confidently thinking that the peppermints had like done the thing. I was like, she was like, you've been drinking. Tasha, you had them drinking? Like, blah, blah, blah. My brother's like, not me, I wasn't drinking. And I mean, mind you, compared to me, you had 2 sips. So they couldn't really smell anything. And I just like went in the room, and I was like freaking out. And my grandma called me into her room, and she sat me down on the bed, and she was like, I'm not gonna ask you if you've been drinking, because I don't want to give you an opportunity to lie to me. I will tell you that your family has a history of alcoholism, that like she had gone to meetings, and my grandfather had gone to meetings, and that she was like, if you choose to drink in your life, you just need to know like alcoholism runs in your family, and that you don't want to be an alcoholic. So be aware of it, be aware of what makes you want to drink, be aware of how much you drink. She was like, you will probably naturally have a high tolerance. And so she was like, you know, just like be cool. And then like she called my mom in the room, and she was like, don't yell at him, don't give him a whooping. This was like a moment for him to learn. And like, and honestly, after that, I mean, I was 13. But like after that, I kind of was just like, it just gave me a different awareness. Like my parents were always just like, you know, church, like you don't drink, you don't curse, you don't do drugs, like boom, boom, boom. But the information that my grandma shared with me gave me awareness. And like, you know, I've had some really, really bad nights. And then like some, you know, cute, fun moments. And they're like, You know, a toast. So that was like my first moment when I was like, it's gonna be alcohol for me. Also, I feel like if I have a drink and I'm feeling the kind of way, I could drink some water, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water, and you know, pee, we good. Like there have been moments where I've peed and been like, it's out of me. Okay, we good. Let's go. Yeah. But like, and I've only like smoked weed. I've never like, I haven't done anything. Well, one time I was in a bad car accident and they had given me like some painkillers and I had just been like home for days and was just like bored watching TV with some friends who had come over, and so I had like a little champagne with my bike in it. But that was not good. That was like, don't do that, guys. But other than that, like it's really just been weed, and the whole thing, like, I've had some really bad highs. That's some good ones. But my first few were like really bad, and the one thing that I hated the most was that I couldn't turn. There was nothing I could do to just like make it stop. Like at that point, because I didn't. My first time like getting high was with an edible, and that wasn't until I was like 26. So yeah, by the time I was 26, I had been drinking. I had my first drink when I was 13. So like, I was like, what is? And that was a fun high because it was like some friends. It was like a Jolly Rancher edible. I just ate a bunch of pizza, and that time was chocolate in LA. I ended up crawling around the Target. I spent like $500 in Target. Didn't know until the next morning. It was really, and so after that I was like, weed is gonna be the cat for me. That's it for me, guys. And and even that I kind of just like, I like to be chill. So a drink. Yeah. Douce Sidecar.
Ooh, Douce is. I got really hooked on Douce like a year or two ago. And when it started getting popular over the quarantine, I was just upset because I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, what happened was it got popped. Two things happened. Alcohol consumption went up during quarantine. And people were really kind of like, if I'm at home and I'm drinking a lot, I don't want to drink like cheap shit. So like, I want to, if I'm gonna be at home and I done made myself learn how to do Zoom calls and all these things, when I say I deserve a drink, I deserve a good drink. Not no like bottom shelf plastic container drink. So I feel like people started also like exploring the liquor store, being like, a lot of us, that was the only reason we were going out, like the grocery store and the liquor store. So it was like,
yep, because I was working at the liquor at Green for the quarantine.
Oh wow.
So yeah, they came in there and they were exploring. How do you make this? Do you know how to make this? Like, and then they started getting me interested in different drinks because I only drink brown and tequila. Okay. I can't really do vodka too much.
Can't. I drink brown.
Yeah.
I drink tequila in like margaritas and like things that were made for tequila. I do not like tequila shots. I don't. My days of tequila for me stopped with Patron. And when I like tapped out of Patron, I was like, now I've done a little like Casamigos, Claz Azul, but also margaritas in Mexico. Like I'm not. I would rather do like a rum and coke than do like tequila.
Really? Yeah. I like the añejo. That's my favorite one. And I do Don, or I do, I'm not gonna say this right, but it's 3 generations. But it's in Spanish. It's Tres Generations. Okay,
that sounds about right to me. Yeah. I mean, I was like, okay, it's definitely Tres. I know it's Tres. Yeah, can't. The older I get, the more I've made space for tequila, but it cannot be no random tequila. Like, I've had some bad tequila nights. And I just know for me, as far as my alcohol consumption is concerned, I don't like to drink things that make me feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm not trying to get my throat burning. I'm not trying to like I drink to like enjoy the liquor.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure of attending the Rock Nation brunch like in 2015. Random, I knew somebody that I had done artist development for this artist who was signed to Rock Nation. So his like day-to-day manager. I hit her up and I was like, hey, I'm in LA. I just moved out here. Grammy weekend. Like, I would love to come to the brunch. Like, no pressure. But like, if you could get me on, let me know. And she was like, hey, good to know you're here. Like, awesome. Right now, I don't have any space, but if anything opens up, I'll let you know. The morning of, like, 2 a.m. And I remember because I was coming home from like a party at Soho House with my friends. And we had basically all just kind of like chucked up. We're not going to the Rock Nation brunch. Because her person hadn't hit her back. My person hadn't hit me back. So like, boom. Got an email. And it's like, you've been confirmed for the Rock Nation brunch. Or like, show up at this address. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ah. And the Rock Nation brunch was just overflowing with Duce and Ace of Spades. And I was just like, okay. I can't just be out here in these streets drinking everything. And it really made me like stop drinking as much because I was like, guys, I don't. Jack Daniels burst my throat now. Like, not like overnight, but then it was like, okay, I need to look. Do you have makers? Yeah. I'll do makers and ginger beer, squeeze of lime. Like, you just the older I got, the more I like developed a palate. And it wasn't just about like drinking something to get drunk or drinking something that's like sweet. Like, what are the notes? What about like tastings? I've done like Hennessy tastings, and it's like going all the way up the ladder, and you just feel like, I don't want to drink no gasoline. So, yeah.
That's how it is, honestly. Because
Duce, that's the thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like, look, basically quarantine like shut down their factory. So they couldn't produce any. So when people started drinking more and like getting into Duce more, and like they were in lockdown,
the prices just the prices.
But yeah, I've been out of the country a few times in the last month. This year, and I stocked up on Hennessy Pure White. So.
Ooh, that's nice. Oh, White Hennessy is.
I'm right now living in a home with Martell, Duce, and Hennessy Pure White.
So it's...
The world is my oyster.
Yes. That's it. My chosen vice is alcohol too, and to hear you talk about it, it's like, yeah, because I used to just drink anything. I drank gin one time, and I don't even know why I drank gin. But I had Everclear. Like, my cousins, they had like a party, just some country stuff. So, yeah, the older you get, your palate does acquire taste.
Child, your palate and also your stomach.
Yes. And like
your bounce back is different.
It's not the same.
It's not
I can't drink and get up the next day and be ready to hit the city. I have to drink. I have to get up the next day, have me a bottle of water.
Yes.
Take me a little ibuprofen because I know I'm sore somewhere. Go ahead and get a full breakfast.
Yes.
Then by that time it's probably like 3 or 4 o'clock. So you know, I could do a little something, but I can't hit it like I used to. Yeah.
I now, at my big age, am like, you know, all those like, I don't have anything to prove. You know what I mean? I drink for, you know, a good addition to my evening. But I don't have anything to prove. Like, I play little like shot games or stuff like with Uno and stuff here and there. But I'm not. I remember like going to the club with my friends and being like, oh, let's do another round of shots. Let's do another round of shots. Let's do another round of shots. Like, I am not that person. I saw some people at the pool like this weekend, and I bought them shots, like tequila, pineapple, and lime juice. And I was like, yeah, shut up. And they was like, we got a bottle of juice. Hey, you want to take a shot? And I was like, yeah. And they poured this, this big shot. And I was like, I'm going to share this with my boyfriend. And they were like, okay. I was like, you shared that. And then I just kind of like put it as a floater on like what I was already drinking. I was like, I can't be out here like that. I can't be out here like that. Like now I'm very much like I'm starting to get into wines. There's a black-owned wine shop here called Three Parks Wine.
Okay.
Black-owned, woman-owned. Shout out to Sarah Pierre, and she did a like IG live tasting with a friend of mine, Dr. Tiffany, this summer, like last summer, and I was like, oh, I want to get into this. So now I've started buying a lot of black-owned wine labels, and I think that's also like better for all parties involved as far as my body is concerned, to not like have to end my night with a Hennessy sidecar, and it was
and it's
a nice a rosé, like just sip a rosé.
How has your vice impacted your life?
I wouldn't say it's been necessarily negative. I feel like it's given me perspective. That moment that I shared with my grandma, like when I had my first drink, it gave me a heightened awareness, right? It's given me a heightened awareness. And so I don't just go out and be like, it's not like I'm trying to take myself out or anything like that. But like, it's giving me awareness and it's giving me balance. That awareness has lent itself to balance. And so now, if I need a drink, I'll be like, okay, cool. But then there are also, on the flip side, there are moments where I'm like, I'm not going to drink for 2 weeks or for a month or for 3 months to kind of like sit in whatever season I'm in my life and really glean whatever it is that I need to glean from like the immediate. But then there are also moments where like I'm creating or where I'm on vacation or those things where like being able to remove myself from the immediate and be able to like live in that escapism, if you will, is like good for me. So I think all in all it's just about balance, right? And knowing when something is no longer good for you and listening to the people around you. I'm big on like checking in. I'm like, am I doing too much? Is this too much? Should I have another one? Do I need to drink some water? Like, you know what I mean? And like I have friends who are like, let's have some water. Like, let's have some water. You want to like keep your skin up, right? You want to keep your liver and kidney healthy. I know the history of alcoholism in my family, and so that keeps me, aware. And so like other than that, it's like you go to the studio, bring a bottle of wine, or hanging out with some friends, celebrating something, going to dinner, having a nightcap. But like I know that balance is important in any area of my life, so I make sure that it's there as well.